BYB's biggest bare knuckle stars return to Denver, Colorado on Friday, May 10th for BYB 26. Mile High Brawl. Newly crowned super middleweight champion LT Smash Nelson looks to become BYB's first two-division title holder when he takes on his toughest opponent yet in the ever-dangerous and always hungry Tommy the Samurai Turner for the BYB middleweight belt. There will be no love lost when big-time brawlers Yuli Diaz and Zion Tomlinson look to draw first blood as they meet in the Trigon in a cruiserweight title eliminator match. Plus, BYB lightweight champion Patty Juarez gets back in action in front of her hometown crowd, while Robert Duran Jr. makes his long-awaited BYB debut. Catch all the action live at the Stockyards Event Center, Friday, May 10th. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information.
Welcome to the Original Fighter's Voice. I'm your host, Don Mcguire. We got a monster in house. Uli the Monster Diaz. What's happening, Kana?
What's up, my brother, man? Thank you for the opportunity, brother. Appreciate you.
Oh, man. Anytime I get a chance to share BYB, you know, because I do multiple genres, but I got to tell you what, man, bare knuckle has completely engulfed me, you know, especially seeing you fight, seeing, you know, what happened in Denver last time we were there. What does Uli the Monster Diaz look forward to the most going into the Mile High City on BYB 26?
Man, the only thing in my path is that W, baby.
You know, you came off a tremendous fight against Ali, you know, and that was your first time back in BYB in a minute. How did it feel for you to come out in such dominating fashion, brother?
Man, it felt great. It felt great to fight in front of my home crowd, win in front of my home crowd. I just think in that fight, I came out a little too fast, a little too sloppy. I didn't stick to the game plan. So this time around, we're going to keep it clean, keep it professional, and look great in front of the Denver crowd.
Yeah. You know, you had a fight with Tomlinson before it got canceled. Now the fight's back on. What do you see in this fight that you feel, without giving away too much of yourself, that you would feel would make Uli Diaz feel comfortable and make yourself realize that the monster is going to come out on May 10th?
Honestly, like I said, we got a great game plan for him. But you know, it's a fight, man. So you know, sometimes plans go out the window. But I'm ready for anything that comes my way. I've been sparring with the best. I got great training partners. I got a great coach. I got a great team behind me. So I'm just looking forward to get in there, doing my thing, and coming out with my hand raised.
Oh, most definitely. You know, we kind of talked about this gentleman before we went live. He's a special kind of individual in both of our walks, that being Mike Vasquez. You know, what would you like to say to Mike? Because you and I both have been in this industry for a long time. Mike is an absolute rarity. You just don't find individuals like this. What does it mean for you to be able to fight, you know, in Mike and Dada's promotion? But what is the more relevant aspect with the relationship with you and Mike Vasquez?
Well, I mean, I know Mike since way before he even thought about starting BYB. I know Mike. Mike's always been a stand-up dude. And now fighting for him under the BYB banner is, I'm truly grateful for it. You know, first off, it's from my hometown, from Miami. You know, my BYB comes from Miami with Dada and Mike. And, you know, I've fought for many different promoters and many different combat sports throughout my career. And I've never run into a promoter that's as great as Mike all around. Mike's just a stand-up guy. That's a, you know, stand-up dude with his word, with what he says, with what he does. What he does is what he says. And you don't find that in this industry too much.
No, you don't. And that actually, I've known Mike for a little bit now, and it actually had me respect him more and want to be more a part of this promotion. And then to meet you guys, the new breed that he's bringing in, you're tremendous. I mean, I know you're from the old school, but you know, you look at Gigliotti, Tommy Turner, and some of these younger cats like Julio Tenori that are coming in from the boxing world and and they're starting to make their mark. How proud of are you of this promotion for how they're building it from the base up?
Man, I'm extremely proud. They haven't fallen to any of the pressure. When it comes to running a promotion or running something like this, you're always gonna have outside influences trying to tell you what to do and how to run your show and how to do this and how to do that. And they haven't fallen to that. They're great with their fighters. Um, the promotion, what you see in front of you is amazing, but what people don't know is what happens behind the scenes is they have great people running it, so it makes everything a lot easier for especially for fighters.
Yeah, I love it. A brother of mine out of Canada, they call him Little Holmes. His name's Paul Driscoll. He says, hello, Don and Uli Monster.
Paul, what's
And
good,
then
brother?
and another brother, Steve Schroeder, he says hi. And he says,
Steve, what's up, dog?
he's all, Uli the Monster, what weight are you at right now?
Right now, I'm in the low 90s. I'm fighting at 185. We got a 1 pound catch weight, so you could come in at 186. And I'm in the low 190s right now. I'm perfect on weight. I've never had a problem making weight. And we're still 4 days out to weigh-in day. So I'll be ready to jump on that scale and handle business.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're going through too much of a tremendous struggle of making weight. You actually look quite well, being just, what is it, 5 days out from the event. Is this the best you felt so far in bare knuckle going into a fight?
Honestly, it's one of the times that I felt the best. I've been keeping up with my diet. And I've been working hard to get to where I'm at today. So my mindset, my nutrition, my sleep, I'm taking care of everything. Again, I've been in the game for a while. I'm on the older side of fighters, so this is my lifestyle. This is my living. This is how I pay my bills. This is how I feed my family. So I take this more than serious. So yeah, but I can tell you, yeah, man, it's one of the best feelings. One of the I feel the best that I have felt coming into a fight.
Yeah. Well, your last fight, I hope you don't mind me saying this. We talked a little bit. I'm a little transparent. You said that you want to come out more calculated this time, that you
Yeah,
came out too fast last time. What made you realize that? Because, bro, honestly, I didn't see any complaints in you, but we are our harshest critics,
right.
So I thought what you did was brilliant. You ended the fight quickly. You showed the world that you were here to stay. What, in what way would you criticize your last performance? Because I thought it was tremendous.
I changed my game plan the day of the fight in the hotel room before I got to the venue. I just saw my opponent's demeanor and how he was kind of like, he's a smooth character. He's just a slow guy. He's a cool dude, man. And the way he was handling himself was kind of slow. I was looking back on his fights that day too, and he was kind of starting slow. So I was like, you know what? I changed it all up that moment at the hotel, and I said, I'm just gonna rush this dude, and go back to my 3 second knockout formula. And I rushed him, and the only reason I'm not happy with my performance that night is just I felt like I should have stuck to my original game plan and worked and looked more like a professional. I was kind of throwing haymakers all over the place, and thank God I landed a few. I put them on the ground 3 different times, and I won the fight. But I'm definitely a better fighter than I was that night.
Yeah, I feel you. You know, let's say let's say today's weigh-ins, and I'm Tomlinson, and I'm standing in front of you, and I'm kind of getting a little lippy or whatever. What does Uli Diaz say to me? I'm standing right in front of your face. We're facing off. Does Uli take the gentleman route, or you try to put the fear of God into your opponents?
I feel like they already have the fear of God coming in to fight me. That's one. Two, I always take the gentleman route. I don't get into the fake hype that they do with all the talking and shit and try to get in my head. I've been around this shit my whole life, from the streets to now, professionally. So all that talking don't mean nothing. These hands do the talking. Um, and we're gonna handle business in the ring anyway. So you can say whatever you want up until we get in that ring and really start slugging it out. That's when. And they always
Yeah.
say the same shit, and then after the fight, they want to come hug me and try to be friends. You know what I mean? So
I love it because you're like Cub Hawkins, and both you guys kind of remind me like Hagler. You stay away from everybody. You just mind your own business, and then when it comes time to step into the Trigon, you do what you got to do. But like Cub Hawkins said, you're here to take my head off in front of my mother, my father, my wife, and my kids. Ain't no reason why I should be your friend. He said, you're here to take food off my table. Is that the way you feel, Uli?
I feel the same way, man. But like I said, I'm a gentleman to everybody. If you want to shake hands, I shake hands. You want to talk shit? No problem. I'm gonna handle my business in the ring. But at the end of the day, we're in there. I respect anybody that gets in the ring, in the squared circle, in the trigon, or in the cage. We're in there to feed our families and make a living off this. And I take this extremely serious. So when it's time to fight, it's time to fight. And then, after that, we will get a beer, whatever you need to do. Depending on how the lead up was up to the fight. If you're getting disrespectful, then I'm gonna knock your ass out and I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah. Well, see, a gentleman just commented. I'm gonna put this up there. We talked about this earlier in the show, and this is what I really love about this promotion is the fighters support each other. Joshua Oxendine says, "That's my dog." That's
That's my
that's a
dog,
bad
dog,
man
man.
right there.
That lumpy Indian, baby. That's my dog, man. I mean, I love Josh's style. Real smooth in the ring. He's a winner himself, man. Can't wait to see his next fight. And hopefully I see him out here in Denver.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, the gist of it, because I do all the shows for BYB, and it's like it caught me off guard the first month or two that I did the shows because I was like, hey, these two dudes are getting ready to fight each other, but yet they're on here, being respectful to each other. And I really like that. I really like what the staff at BYB has correlated in the retrospect in their fighters. You got to have respect for each other, but at the same time, like you said, I'll have a beer with you after my fight, but I ain't got nothing to say to you until, it's like Matthew Lyle says, Uli, good luck and stay safe always. And here's my dog right here, Tommy Turner. He says, see you in a couple weeks, big dog. Let's
All right.
fucking go.
It's my
You
dog,
know,
Tommy, man. Tommy's going to be out here putting on a show himself.
yeah, I had him on the other day, and I gotta say, I just really I love these guys coming up. I love you, and I love the way that this whole organization has put such dedicated and personable fighters on their cards. Brother, I wouldn't talk crap 2 blocks away from you, even if I had 2 legs, even if I was in a car. But this fight with Tomlinson, I think it's a tremendous matchup. He's not a bad fighter, but I looked at it and it's really more a fight of your style, a fight that's going to benefit you. How do you feel Uli going into this match? Because he's not a chump, but I don't, in my opinion, I don't know if he's up to your standards. What does the fighter look at?
I just look at the way he uses the ring and the way how he attacks, how he defends. Just the normal stuff that everybody looks at. But I agree with you. I don't think he's in my caliber. I have more experience than him. But at the end of the day, it's a fight. Anything can happen. You got to be ready at all times. One thing for sure is I definitely hit 100 times harder than him. And if anybody's seen my fights, I could take a hit as well, and I keep coming forward. He's been known to get hit and quit. So I think once he feels the power, he's not gonna like it too much.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this because you're from the old days of bare knuckle. How grateful are you to see it transition from the underground to the backyard now to mainstream?
I'm extremely grateful, man. The fighting saved my life, brother, and bare knuckle was one of the outlets that definitely saved my life and gave me opportunities like this to be able to speak to a Hall of Famer like you, Don Mcguire,
Oh man.
and fighting a Trigon in front of my hometown, in front of thousands of people that'll be watching on Fuse Network and BN Sports, and it's just it's another step on the ladder towards the world championship, man. That's where I'm headed next. After I beat Tomlinson, it looks like me and Cub will be squaring off in the Trigon. I look forward to that, man. He's a great fighter. He's got a great record.
Yeah.
So it's something I look forward to.
I think the sky's the limit for you in this organization. I really do. A tremendous photographer and professional boxer. He was just with me at the Hall of Fame. He says after fighting, they need to put Uli in the movies. He looks like he's ready to fight with James Bond.
Oh man, that'd be great. Appreciate you, Nate. Man, make the calls to Hollywood. Let me know what you get, brother.
Hey, he's got the connects, bro. He's got the connects. But
That's
I
it.
also have a homie that actually came to the Hall of Fame this last weekend. He did the documentary Beyond the Cage. He does a lot of documentaries in this industry. So I'm gonna talk to him. Maybe we could set something up because I
I would
think
love that.
yeah, I think your life story needs to be shared because, bro, if people only knew what you do, you kind of remind me a lot of Tony Kryptonite Lopez. You fight 7 times a month, but only tell everybody about two because you got to feed your family, you got to pay the bills. People don't know that Tony Kryptonite Lopez couldn't even write his name for the longest time because he was illiterate. But I tell you what, I respect the man because whether it was sanctioned, unsanctioned, or just unspoke of, that man will fight 10 times in 1 month just to put food on his table. What does it mean for you, Uli the man, to be able to represent your family, your heritage, and to be able to support your family with your ability?
Means the world to me, Don. This is what I do for a living. This is how I put food on the table. This is how I put a roof over our head. And from the words of Cub, man, how you trying to come take it from me? You're gonna have hell trying to do that.
Yeah. Little Holmes says, Don, look at Uli's biceps. He's a freaking monster, man. Hey, Charles, thank you, but I appreciate that, my brother Os, but I don't want to make Uli's interview about my Hall of Fame induction. I truly don't because this man's deserving, just as deserving as
Nah, but
me.
Charles is right, man. Congratulations to you, Don. It's a big accomplishment in your life. You've been around for a long time, and Hall of Fame. Your legacy will live on forever, brother.
Thank you, my man. Well, we'll just do this real quick, and that nobody else. I'm not going to answer any more comments. There it is.
Let's go.
And then since everybody else was asking about it too, we'll go ahead and the WBC
Let's
recognized me,
go.
but you know we all put it in, especially you, Uli. You know what is it that inspires you? Let's say it's the night before the fight. You're sitting in your hotel room. I know you can't sleep. I know the adrenaline's pumping. What kind of thoughts go through your head? Because I know even like with me just shooting fights and doing the things that I do, I get nervous, I get scared, I get all kinds of emotions. But what goes through the head of a fighter the night before the fight?
The night before the fight, man, I actually get good rest. I get good sleep. To me, the first and biggest fight is the win. Once I make weight, the rest is easy work. I've been putting in this work for a long time to step in there and show what I've been doing. Um, but definitely, my son just beat cancer. 11 years. He just turned 11. He
Oh,
beat cancer when he was 10 years old. He's one of my biggest motivations, inspirations. My wife has always got my back, and she's right behind me. She's a fighter as well, and they motivate me constantly, help me throughout life and throughout every fight camp. So they are my biggest motivations. I got my mom, that's she's a minister, always praying for me and keeping God,
amen.
keeping me covered in the blood of Jesus Christ. So I go in there, man, motivated, inspirated, and blessed by the best, and just ready to rock and roll, brother.
Amen. Amen to that. They said this is true, man. He says Tony Lopez would fight Santa Claus on Christmas. That guy is the epitome of a professional fighter.
That's the
He doesn't
truth,
get the
man.
yeah, and he
Tony
don't get
Lopez,
the
one
credit.
of the toughest guys, man, out there. Shout out to him. He's a legend himself.
Yeah, just like you, brother. And Matthew says you're doing great. Keep grinding.
Thank you,
And
Mike.
then Jonathan Cole says, thanks for having us on to meet the BYB fighters, bro. These guys are the future. You know, one thing BYB is just different than any other organization. But people think that bare knuckle is new. It's not new. It's been going on in the UK for quite some time, but it's new to the United States. The Trigon is what makes BYB totally different. It's the the smallest combat surface in all of combat sports. These guys go in there, and I know you guys watch it on TV or whatever, but unless you're actually in the Trigon, you don't understand what this gentleman has to go through. You fall back into a corner. The only way out is to fight your way out, and they're deep. Them corners are deep. Uli, what was it like for the first time for you to fight in the Trigon when you got in the corners? How deep were they for you, bro?
Man, listen, I'm a great white shark, bro. I'm used to them deep waters, and I have no problem fighting up against the ropes. You could put me in any. I mean, it's hard to put me in a corner, but you put me in the corner, I got no problem being there at all. Uh, the more dangerous the position, the happier I feel, and the more comfortable I feel. So the Trigon is my home, man.
Yeah, I love
It
it
was
too.
made for the monster.
Hey, you know what? I'm 100% agree with that. It was made for the monster. Nate Brent says, Uli, out of all your fights, which one was your favorite victory and why?
Definitely has to be the 3 second knockout, man. I made history on that night. Um, set a world record on all combat sports with that knockout. It was a defining moment in my career. I got phone calls from all around the world, got interviews, and that's really how my name got blasted on into the universe was that moment. So that's gotta be my favorite fight moment for me in my career.
Yeah, yeah. Charles says he loves your neck tattoo. And then John says, Amen. Great to hear about your son. You know, God is beautiful, man, and creates a lot of, if you believe he will take care of you. It's like everybody says, like I said in my Hall of Fame induction speech, and I knew I wasn't going to say this, but I said I'm not handicapped. I'm handicapable. You know, everybody always wants to feel sorry for us that are sick, but if we don't feel sorry for ourselves, then why should you? And I fought cancer in the last 3 years. I had prostate and colon cancer, and it can tear a family down. But like with mine, we came closer together, and then my son got sick, and we almost lost him. How hard has it been for you, Uli? Because you're the head of the house. How hard has it been to see your child go through what he's gone through and still have? Because you see, people don't understand the world don't stop for us. We got a situation, we still got to keep going, no matter what. So how hard was it for you to absorb that and continue to be who you are?
Don, that's the hardest fight I've ever fought in my life. Nothing in any ring, cage, trigon, anything that can compare. Um, to watch my son go through what he went through. Thank God we're on the winning side of it. He got through it. He beat cancer. He's rehabilitating. You know, in great speed and amazing. He's got a great head on his shoulders, and like I said, he's one of my biggest motivators. He's one of my coaches, man. You know what I mean? We got a podcast together. I'm his co-host. You know what I mean? He's an amazing young man, and it's great to see him, happy and on the other side of all this. But you're right. You're right. Life don't stop for nobody. The bills keep coming, problems keep coming. So you got to have a positive attitude and keep moving forward and just do what you got, do what you can, do what you got control of, And all last year we're in the hospital with my son while he was fighting this, and I wouldn't, I I wouldn't wish this upon anybody, but for a terrible situation, we got the best outcome, and my son's gonna be an inspiration for many people in his life. Whenever people hear his story, like what he went through at 10 years old, and he made out of, and he fought it and won. So it's something that's always on my mind is him and what he went through, and that's why it gave me. I already had no quit in me, but that gave me an extra level of no quit. Is just thinking about what he went through without any he couldn't quit, he couldn't quit, he had no choice and he made it through. So uh again, doing what I do, man, is nothing in comparison to that.
Amen. Uh, that just was priceless, brother. That was so priceless the way you put it because I know the feeling last October when, my son had been telling us he'd been hurting but didn't go to the doctor. And then when we finally took him, he had one of the rarest spine infections in the world. They still don't even know how he got it. And we asked, was he going to live? They said, we can't tell you if your son's going to live. So, people that are listening, listen to Uli, listen to me, because no matter how you think or what your day is, pay attention to what's in front of you and underneath your roof, because it really can be gone in a blink of an eye. And Uli and I both found that out this year. And I only got one son, and to have my wife break down, a woman I've never seen break down. We May 7th will be our 39th wedding anniversary. We've been together for 43 years. She's always been the pillar of our house, the strength of our house. And then she just crumbled in front of me. And I didn't know what to say. And people go, comforter, how are you supposed to tell the mother of your child, who that child came out of, grew in, and came out of, is a different relationship than the father, compared to the mother? How hard was it for your wife? And how hard was it for you to see your wife also walk this walk with her child? Oops.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're all right, bro.
Man, listen, my wife, you know, she's amazing, man. She's a very strong woman, and she was the pillar for us as well. Held us together, did everything she could to keep us happy in these in those hard moments. And I could tell you that um, it would have been a harder battle just mentally not having her there. So it was a blessing to have my wife by our side, and just taking care of my son that was sick, and me that I was just going through it emotionally and mentally, And again, just it's a blessing, and I can't, there's no words for how happy I feel to be on this side of it and be able to speak about it, with a positive ending, to this.
Last December, BYB rolled to Denver, and we had Mark Irwin versus Julio Tenori.
That's right.
One of the fight of the year, one of the greatest battles at that point in time in BYB history. Where does it sit in the heart of Uli Diaz to go into Denver and have, for Uli to call Denver his own, to leave his own indelible mark like Mark Irwin and Julio Tenori?
I got to give a shout out to everybody out here in Denver that's been opening the doors to me. Team Genesis, Coach Jake, my guy Chris Camozzi opened the doors for me everywhere he could. They made me feel at home. They brought me in like family. Denver's definitely a second home for the Monster, and truly appreciative. And shout out to Mike Irwin and Tenori that had fight of the year. It was an amazing fight. Both them guys are warriors. They deserve all their flowers and accolades. And the Monster's coming in to make a statement as well, man. I'm looking for maybe knockout of the year on Friday night. So everybody keep their eyes open and don't blink.
I love it. Uli, this promotion is just growing leaps and bounds, and Denver is a true fan of BYB. I know where you sit, but what does this moment mean? Because you do have a chance to make Denver monster territory. How relevant would that be for you to go into Denver and win in dominating style and have the fans of Denver epitomize and appreciate the walk of Uli Diaz?
You know what, Don? That's what every fighter looks forward to, man. Making that moment, making that stamp. You know, like I said, it's a fight. So, I come ready for it. You never know what's going to happen in a fight, but what I have in my head, what I visualize, what I picture, what I train for, you know, I hope to make it an amazing an amazing finish, an amazing knockout, and just put my monster stamp in on Denver and keep those doors
Yeah,
open for myself. So whenever I come back, people are proud to have me in their gym. And then in
amen.
their gym, in their restaurant, wherever it is I step in Denver to show my face. I hope everybody loves having a monster here because I really love Denver.
Oh, I love it. Me and Chris Camozzi are friends. I knew him from Factory X. How did that relationship get correlated, brother?
Man, Chris Camozzi is an amazing dude, man. He's hats off to him. I appreciate and I'm so grateful for everything he's done for me since I've been in Denver. Like I told you, he's opened every door for me from gyms to therapists to food to everything that's happening
Yeah.
for me in Denver. Yeah, he's been the one to open the doors for me, and I'm so grateful for him. He has a brother in me, and our relationship came about. He started in Bare Knuckle and BKFC. I was still with BKFC. We developed a relationship over Instagram. We talked, and it's just a mutual respect that we have amongst fighters. And like I said, I respect everybody. I'm a fan of Chris Camozzi. He's had a long, great career. He fought for the UFC for many years, and man, when I was coming out here, I gave him a shout, and like I said, he opened every door for me, man. Treated me like family. So it's I can't wait when he comes out of Miami to do the same for him.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, he's an awesome dude, and I love Mark Montoya from Factory X up there too. You know, it sounds like your head's screwed on straight, brother. It sounds like you're ready to represent BYB with pride. And man, I wish I could have been at your last fight, but like I said, my son was sick. Uli, you've always been one of my favorite fighters. You've always been an instrumental part, whether it be in the background, the backyard, the underground, or wherever it may be. What was it in the beginning? I know we all got to eat, but what was it in the beginning that truly had Uli the Monster Diaz, looking for those fights in the underground, the backyard? What was the beginning like for you?
Man, I grew up an angry kid, man, trying to let out my frustrations and trying to make a name for myself out here. I never liked bullies. Always picked on the bullies. You know what I mean? Always looked to fight the bullies. So whenever those situations came up and you had people who thought they were tough, I would love to step in there and do what I do and show them show them the real monster because I feel. My nickname is the monster, but I'm only the monster when I step in the ring or when I step in, when we square up and get
Yeah.
ready to fight. Aside from that, man, I love to be a humble guy and I show my love and appreciation to anybody that shows me love.
Amen, brother. That's what I love about the most about you. Nate Rand wants to know, Uli, who's your favorite referee?
Favorite referee? I like my guy from BYB, man. What's his name? I forgot his name. But I also got to give a shout out to Andrew Glenn. Andrew Glenn was my referee in the 3 second knockout, so I made him famous as well. We both got famous at the same time. Um, and if anybody sees that knockout, it was less than 3 seconds, but
Yeah,
they counted it as three. But yeah, man, that's my guy since after that night.
yeah. Well, the Denver Commission is tremendous, bro. That was the first event we held there on December 2nd, and man, they loved it. I got actually inducted in with one of the referees that refereed the Tenori Irwin fight. We got inducted together. He's actually from the WBC, and that's the one that gave me the medallion. And he was just like, brother, I want to do another. I want to do another. And for a guy that has spent 30 something years in boxing to be that excited and can't wait for another BYB event to come to Denver, it was phenomenal. I had to laugh at him because, man, it's like people don't really understand the excitement. It's like one of my homeboys, he came to the fight in Denver last time. He brought his old lady, and the first couple fights were great. Turner was the first fight that night, and then I think Gigliotti, and then the third fight was Tenori Irwin. And she looked at me before the fight. She goes, "I just thought there would be more blood." I said, "Wait until after this fight."
Uh,
And little did I know that she would be seeing one of the greatest fights in BYB history. And I
right.
looked at her. I said, "Was that enough blood? Was
They
that?"
made history that night, boy. They got it.
Yeah, she didn't know what to say, bro. Um, he's an adaptive athlete. He's a wheelchair boxer. He says, my young son, 12, has an eye issue. He will be blind one day. I needed to hear this today. I just found out a few weeks ago. Thank you both. Well, you know what, brother Charles? I'll pray for you, and I know Uli will pray for you. And
Absolutely. I'll pray for you and God bless you and your family, Charles, man. Thank you for sharing that with us. I will definitely keep your son and your family in our prayers. Um, tell them to keep fighting, man. Never give up. Never give up. You never know what God has in store for you. You know, there's a possibility, you know what I mean, with God's prayers and God works miracles. God willing, he won't go blind.
amen. Because like with our son, they told us he wasn't going to live, and they told us he was getting better, and then we found out that he got worse, and then they didn't know if he was going to make it. And then the power of prayer. The Lord is beautiful, man. You know, we'll pray for you, brother. And thank you for sharing that, like Uli said, man, because you know what? This is what life is about. It's not all coming on here and just praising Uli or anybody else just for what they've done. I want to show the individual behind the warrior. You know, and Uli stepped in the cage or the octagon. I hear I'm messing up, got me all emotional. The Trigon, and that's when the monster, like you said, that's when the monster comes out. But the other man is a true gentleman, a loving man, a father, a God, kindred spirit, and it's a true blessing. My brother out of Canada says this is what the show is all about. Merci, Simmer salute, brave people. Amen. Life is a real battle.
Amen.
You know, I don't think I could have said it any better, Gordy. I love you, bro. And then he said, I guess he knows Chris Camosi. He said, Chris is a great guy too, to be hooked up with, Uli. Chris is he's awesome. Um,
Absolutely.
Paul Driscoll says, Uli, tunnel vision stays focused. Stay focused. You're hungry, driven heart, intelligent, powerful. Fight that style in front of you, not the man. Then you make it look easy like work. I guess you know what he's saying is you get what he's saying. You know, Uli, the sporting world loves you, bro. You know, I'm so proud of Mike and all the BYB staff for bringing you home. You know, BYB is your home, bro. This is where you should have started. This is where you need to stay because I've watched your career and you seem so happy with BYB. It seems like it's made an indelible mark in your heart. What would you like to say to the staff? Because everybody wants to praise certain people, but they don't understand there's no you and I and team, and there's no ego with any of the BYB staff. It's we all walk side by side, bro. Not one in front, not one behind. What would you like to say to all of the staff at BYB for how they've been to you and how they've treated you?
I want to tell them that they're more than appreciated, and that trust me that nothing goes unseen behind the scenes. I know you guys are working hard to make this show happen, to make the fighters happy and comfortable. So you are truly appreciated. I'm very good friends with most of the crew behind the scenes. So those guys know me well. They know me outside of the fight, life, and they know they're appreciated. And whenever I get a chance to, I show my appreciation with them. So thank you to the whole BYB staff, the front, the back, and anybody that has to do with putting together the show. You guys are truly appreciated, man. Thank you.
Amen. We'll be right back.
BYB's biggest bare knuckle stars return to Denver, Colorado on Friday, May 10th for BYB 26. Mile High Brawl. Newly crowned super middleweight champion LT Smash Nelson looks to become BYB's first two-division title holder when he takes on his toughest opponent yet in the ever-dangerous and always hungry Tommy the Samurai Turner for the BYB middleweight belts. There will be no love lost when big-time brawlers Yuli Diaz and Zion Tomlinson look to draw first blood as they meet in the Trigon in a cruiserweight title eliminator match. Plus, BYB lightweight champion Patty Juarez gets back in action in front of her hometown crowd, while Robert Duran Jr. makes his long-awaited BYB debut. Catch all the action live at the Stockyards Event Center, Friday, May 10th. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information. The main event.
This is going to be a battle. It's showtime.
And Don Povey is killing on those commercials, bro.
He's the man.
You know, watching that commercial, watching the build up, I don't know, man. It makes my heart just, because I already know what you guys bring, man. You know, where does it, watching that, seeing you on there and hearing those words and what people say about you, how humbling is it for you, Uli? Because you truly are a humble man on your walk.
Man, listen, hearing Mike Goldberg say my name and speak about me so highly, I'm a huge fan of Michael Goldberg. You know what I mean? Huge. He's a legend, a legend. You know, he's the first voice of the UFC. So to have him call my name, have Paulie Malignaggi, talk on my fights, Claudia Trejos, and all those amazing Hall of Fame superstars, speak about me and my fight career has just been a blessing in itself. So it's just awesome to be part of that, man.
Man, I'm a fan of yours, bro. So it's like, well,
Man, look,
I'll be
I'm on a podcast with Don Mcguire, Hall of Famer himself. That it's been an amazing career, man, and there's still a lot more to do.
Hey, you just getting started, baby. You just getting
Right,
started.
that's right.
Uh, Jonathan Cole says there's a great bunch of administration of combat sports that the best promotion put together. He's talking about BYB.
That's
You
right.
know, I'll tell you why. Because Mike and all of the BYB family, they ain't gonna go spend billions of dollars getting these ex UFC stars and nah, they want to bring you the best competitive fights in the industry. They're not going to put a guy 9-0 against somebody who's 0-3. They're going to give you the best fights through Mel Valenzuela matchmaking. And, it's like the only way you could build something that's going to last forever is to build a base and to build it right. And I've watched promotions, I've worked for promotions. I've never seen a promotion build the company so good and so right as Mike Vasquez, Dada, and everybody. And you're right. When I first walked in, I hadn't worked with Goldie in a long time, man, and it brought me back to see someone like Mike Goldberg be a part of BYB. It's clinging, bro. It's hitting hard. And then you got Claudia Trejos, who is just killing it. And I actually saw her this weekend at my Hall of Fame induction. It's beautiful to see people from all walks of life come together for the first time in my 40 years in this industry and have the love and the passion to build this promotion right. As a fighter, how does it make you feel? Because I know you've worked for shit people. How much less stress is on your back knowing that this promotion has your back and they're doing it right?
Oh man, listen, it was a blessing signing with BYB. Like I said at the
Right?
beginning of the show, Mike and the BYB team. Shout out to Greg Bloom, the CEO, and everybody behind the scenes, man. Those guys are stand-up guys. They do what they say and they say what they do, and that's it. That's all needs to be said about that. They're easy to deal with, and
Yeah.
as a fighter, you want people that are easy to deal with because you got to go in there and do the harder job.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be arguing about numbers and what you got to do and who you're gonna fight and all this. You want to get, Mel Valenzuela puts on a great card every time, like you
Yeah.
just said, and these guys are I wouldn't. I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna end my career on BYB just because, mostly because this is the guys I want to fight for. This is the guys I want to put. This is a promotion I want to leave my name, my legacy, and they're people who want to see their fighters do well.
Hey man, you and I got something in common. We both told Mike we're going to retire from BYB. After BYB, there ain't no place for me to go. I don't want to go anywhere else.
That's
You
it.
know,
That's it.
and if that don't tell the people that are watching this and that will watch this what BYB truly is creating, then they're pendejos,
Right.
because this is a freaking family, man. It's like that. Brother, I'm honored you came on the show.
Thank you for
Uh,
having me on, brother. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be with you. Huge congratulations to you, man. You should be, extremely proud of yourself. I know you don't pat yourself on the back too
Thank
much,
you.
but I'm gonna do it for you. You deserve your flowers. You're an amazing man, amazing father, an amazing person in this industry. And thanks to you, I get my voice heard. And not only me, all the fighters get their voices heard. BYB, you give BYB an amazing platform. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope to speak to you again after I win this fight.
Oh man, you didn't. My show is your home. See, that's what most people. If I'd have put Don McGuire's voice, that'd have been something different. But it's the fighter's voice. Nobody wants to hear from me, and that's why I share you guys the way I do. But before we go, this is, let's say this is the second chapter on the walk of Uli Diaz because it kind of truly is.
It is.
You open up the book and you're on the first page, and you got to write a sentence or just a word or a thought about the second chapter in the walk of Uli the Monster Diaz. What would that statement say?
He never gave up.
Oh, chico, ah, caray. Damn, that's deep, bro. Cause I know you. That shit's deep, bro.
Never gave up, dog.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, brother. Don, I love you,
You're,
brother. Thank you.
I love you. I love you too, but I'll just get these out of the way and then we'll wrap things up. Charles Wilton says the WBC now has an adaptive pro boxing program. My goal is the first adaptive world champion in my weight class. Hey, brother,
Nice.
live your dreams. Live your
Hey,
dreams.
hey, God bless.
Half my career, I didn't have a leg. I didn't give up.
God
The
bless.
only person that's going to quit is you. Gordon McDonald says, darn, jumping in late. Brother, you can still watch it because once this is done, it'll create a video and you can watch it. But he says, much love from Canada.
Man, much love to Canada, man. Appreciate the love.
They all, a bunch of Canadians on today's show.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, another Canadian, great brother of mine. He says, Uli, brother, you have class, man. Well, you really
Thank
do,
you,
man.
Paul.
And you're an inspiration to all of us. You really
Brother.
are, brother. Um, God bless you. I'm gonna hand the mic to you. If you have any sponsors, friends, or family, or just anything else you would like to add to the show, brother, the
Yeah,
floor is
man.
yours.
Let me shout out the sponsors. Accident Medical Group always got my back. Kendra Lust and the Lust Army, the Fire Sprinkler Guy, Native Roots of South Florida, West Miami Jewelry always keeping me fresh. Um, Josh's Premium Meats where I get all my meat for my diets. And the flowery, man, the flowery for any medical cannabis needs. Those guys got you, the best in Florida, and all those guys are family. They always got my back. They support me, and that is so important in a fighter to have good sponsors to support you, because everybody sees you on fight night, but they don't see all the hard work you put in to
Yeah,
get to fight night. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes an army. It takes a village. Shout out to my amazing family. My son, who's the biggest warrior I know. My wife, who's the biggest queen and warrior I know as well, and my mom that holds this all together for me, and Don, man, another shout out to you and BYB. Love you guys. Thank
uh,
you, man. Thank you for the
love you too,
opportunity,
my
and I'll talk to
brother.
you again soon, brother. With that,
Hey, I want to be on.
with,
I want to be on your podcast, bro.
oh, we're gonna have you on, man. I promise you. That's nothing. That's guaranteed.
Hey, go make me
Love you,
proud. Go
brother.
show the
God bless
world
you.
I
God
love
bless your
you.
family. Everybody watching, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Nothing but love from the monster. And God bless you and your families. And let's go. Let's go. May
Let's go.
10th,
It's go
BYB,
time.
Denver, Colorado, the Stockyard Event Center. I'm there to knock this boy out the frame. Watch the show. Thank you, brother.
I love you, brother. God
I
bless
love
you.
you too,
Bye
man.
bye. Man, I tell you what, if you miss out on this BYB event, you're a fool. I was at the last BYB December 2nd in Denver, Colorado. BYB 26 is going to be off the hook. I mean, I am so stoked. And you know what? I love what he said about Mike Vasquez. I truly feel the same way about Mike Vasquez. When you meet somebody in this industry, everybody screws over everybody, but not Mike Vasquez. His word is is solid, is gold. Did I ever think I would ever trust a promoter? No, not until I met Mike. And Mike is the most beautiful soul. I don't even know how he makes it through a day. The guy's just as busy as Dana White, if not busier. But Mike has surely built a promotion with Dada 5000. and all of the BYB staff. Greg Bloom is doing a hell of a job. Don Povia is doing a tremendous job as well. With that being said, I'm going to run this commercial back one more time, and then we'll come back and wrap things up.
BYB's biggest bare knuckle stars return to Denver, Colorado on Friday, May 10th for BYB 26. Mile High Brawl. Newly crowned super middleweight champion LT Smash Nelson looks to become BYB's first two-division title holder when he takes on his toughest opponent yet in the ever-dangerous and always hungry Tommy the Samurai Turner for the BYB middleweight belt. There will be no love lost when big-time brawlers Yuli Diaz and Zion Tomlinson look to draw first blood as they meet in the Trigon in a cruiserweight title eliminator match. Plus, BYB lightweight champion Patty Juarez gets back in action in front of her hometown crowd, while Robert Duran Jr. makes his long-awaited BYB debut. Catch all the action live at the Stockyards Event Center, Friday, May 10th. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information. The main event.
This is going to be a battle.
It's showtime.
It definitely is showtime. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. You know, I'll show it one last time since Uli's in. This is one of the most prestigious honors I've ever been given. You know, I had put up, tell you the kind of guy Mike is, and I don't know if he's watching, but I gotta say this. You know, I put up a post said sorry about all the Hall of Fame posts, and Mike said, nah, you earned this. You brag about it. So, you know, I did, and I went to the Hall of Fame when I wasn't going to go. And I want to thank you, Mike, because of you, I'm learning to understand what people see in me. You know, I've just always been a humble dude, and, you know, nothing's going to change that. But every once in a while, when you accomplish something like you do and put in the years that I have, Mike's right. You got to learn to accept acknowledgement. And it's been a hard thing for me to do and be, you know, swallow, but thank you, Mike. I know you, if you're listening or you'll watch this down the road, I know you'll feel me. I really appreciate you, bro. He says, after watching the longest run today, watching this show made my day. You know, that's crazy, Nate, because I was on the Los Angeles Tribune. They interviewed me today, and it started at 12, and I was on that show from 12 until 5 because they do it in segments. It was a phenomenal experience, but it was also my whole day. But I still got off in time to have the monster on, and that was a tremendous show. I love that, man. You know, BYB is doing something right here. It's not about fancy lights and bells and whistles, because if you can't bring it to you real and raw, then why bring it? You know, and BYB is real and raw, and they're truly bringing it and making a difference, not only in our lives, but in the fighters' lives. With that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in to today's show. God bless you, and have a good night.